Well, good morning. Today is Monday, November 21st, and it's time for our weekly meeting highlights. And this week is continuing on how to use lessons from your past for future success. So today's is how to take charge of unhelpful thoughts. We're going to need it this week, let me tell you, because of Thanksgiving. But we'll get to that in a minute. So we always start off with how I'm doing. I told you I'm going to finish the year strong. I'm going to have a loss, or at least stay the same till between now and New Year's Eve. That's my goal. So how did I do this week? Not too bad. I lost 0.4. I weighed in this morning at 243.8, so it's a 60.4 loss. Still in the 60s. That's my goal. My plan is to get into the 70s next. But I'm happy with that. A 0.2 loss. If you follow me on my daily vlog, you know that on Tuesday Jim and I went out to eat. We went to the Texas Roadhouse. I do go a little crazy with their little rolls. I love their rolls with the cinnamon butter. I did have one too many. We'll just leave it at that. One too many. And I had ribs, which are very high in points. But I enjoyed the meal. I thought I got back on track pretty well for the rest of the week. On Saturday, we went to a surprise birthday party. I did pretty well. I could have done better. I did pretty well, but and then yesterday I had some salty. I don't know why I do it the day before weigh-ins. I had some sausage, and I did have some potato chips with my dinner. So I did have a little bit of salt, but I still had a 0.2 loss, and so I'm really happy with that. My goal or my plan for this week is to really think ahead, because Thanksgiving is just one day. This is the first Thanksgiving in probably 40 years that I'm not cooking it. It's like, so I will not have leftovers unless I bring some leftovers home. I usually don't have much leftovers anyhow, because I usually pass them all out, and so that there's nothing here to tempt me. So I do plan on having a slice of banana cream pie. I don't like pumpkin in any way, shape, or form. So the pumpkin spice and all the pumpkin raves that goes on in October, November, and December passes right by me, because I don't really care. I don't like pumpkin. But I do like a good piece of banana cream pie. So I do plan on having a slice of banana cream pie. I am having regular stuffing. I'm not going to have any kind of a diet plate. But I'm going to have a reasonable plate. I'm going to have a reasonable amount of food. I'm not going to overdo it. I'm not going to overindulge, because my goal for next week is to have another loss. So in order to do that, I have to plan accordingly for the beginning of the week, and make smart choices on Thanksgiving. Realize it's a day of thankfulness. It's not a day, well, it is a day of food, but it's not a day that we got to go crazy eating food, I guess is my point. So, but anyway, let's get to the topic of how to take charge of unhelpful thoughts. After a setback, you can't always control what pops into your mind. Resist entering the chat and start a new conversation instead. I am as guilty of this as the next person, that when I have a mess up. Now, I could have very easily, when I had too many rolls at the Texas Roadhouse on Tuesday, I could have very easily just given up for the whole week. It was a setback, because I did really well on Monday, and I did really well leading up until the dinner on Tuesday. So I really, in my mind, was thinking that I kind of balanced it out. But let's face it, those rolls are I think the rolls are 4 points, and I think the butter that you put on it, because let's face it, you put a lot of butter on a hot roll. You don't put like a little dab of butter on a hot roll. Even I don't put a little dab of butter on a hot roll. I should always say that, clarify that, I guess. But I could have very easily just thought, you know what, you went crazy. Let's just wait till next Monday. No, I got right back on track, because I knew that on Saturday I was going to make. They had good rolls on Saturday also. It's just, there's something about a hot piece of bread or a hot roll that just really, I have a hard time resisting. I really do have a hard time resisting that. Just a minute, I gotta turn this off. I declined the call, but I also declined you. It's a good thing I noticed, because I was watching Edie's video the other day, Edie's Adventures, and she said that she was for the Nutmember, and she said that she started making her thing and didn't realize that she thought she'd turned it back on, and she didn't. I've done that many, many times, and I almost did it just now. We would have had to go through all this all over again, but Anyway, these are tips that you need to try. So they try this. Identify the unhelpful thought. Pay attention to when your brain starts telling you something that could derail you. I ate all of the holiday cookies and now my week is ruined. Why even bother tracking? I will tell you that even though I had a very high point dinner on Tuesday, I did track it. Now, I didn't track on Saturday because it was like almost next to impossible to. I ate stuff. I had some kind of chicken with some kind of a mushroom cream sauce that I wouldn't even know how to track. It was delicious. I've never had it before. I couldn't even tell you what it tasted like. It was other than it was delicious, and I ate every little bit of it. Now, I could have tracked the potatoes because it was red skinned potatoes, but then again, I don't know how they prepared it because it tasted very buttery. So I didn't track on Saturday night. I should have, but I didn't. But for the rest of the week, I did track. And I think that I was paying attention to what my brain was telling me, because my brain was telling me after I ate all those rolls on Tuesday, well, you got Saturday too, so why bother now? No, I put that thought to the back of my, and I got that thought out of my brain completely, because I thought, no, we're not going to do this. We're just not going to do this. So then the next thing they tell you to do is create some distance. Imagine your brain as a cartoon character and you're just relaying the script. My brain thinks that this week is a wash and I should give up. It's so easy. It's so easy to talk yourself into doing what you want to do, Go where you want to go, do what you want to do. You can't do that. You just can't. In all things in life, you have to balance out the results, the consequences of your decisions. No matter what decision you make, there's going to be a consequence to it if it's not the smartest decision that you could have made. So really think about it. And it's always like if you mess up, it's one meal. If you have a cookie, it was one cookie, or two cookies or three cookies, whatever, But that doesn't mean that it's completely ruined you for the whole week. Get right back on track. Now, you might have gone so overindulgent that, like you thought, well, I went so crazy, which I've had many a day like that I've gone so crazy that I could gain like a pound or two in a day. It doesn't seem possible because it's 3,200 calories makes a pound. But you know what? You can very easily overeat 5,000 or 6,000 calories if you have too many cookies, too many donuts. It's so easy to do. But don't have the mindset, well, you know what? I probably gained 2 pounds today. I might as well wait, because then you can gain another pound or two during the week. And then that's just, for me at least, that's twice as hard because it's so easy for me to put it on, but it is so difficult for me to take it off. And I know that of me. So I have to make smarter choices and listen to my inner voice, not to the devil on my shoulder, but listen to the angel that's telling me, okay, you know what? We all make mistakes. Let's move on. Just not do it again. Let's just wait. Don't do it again. So you got to listen to that voice too. So they tell you to dive a little deeper. Ever try to quietly evict unhelpful thoughts from your brain? Yeah, it doesn't always work. No, it doesn't. Because especially if you watch TV and they show commercials, all the commercials mostly, I know there's like car commercials and stuff like that, but there are a good majority of food commercials. And it triggers me. When I was watching the November collabs yesterday, it was like stirring a sugar monster inside of me because everything I saw looked so good. It just looked so good. And I thought, and I copied the recipes because I thought, I'm going to make that. So it doesn't mean that I can't ever have it, but it just means that I have to, do it within reason. And when I see commercials that kind of trigger my thought process that I want something to eat, try to figure out that, if I really want something sweet, well, so rather than grabbing some cookies or something, grab some berries or some grapes or something. It's easy to substitute a natural sugar for like an unhealthy sugar. In my case, I think an unhealthy sugar a lot of times that solves the problem. That's not really, it just kind of like, I think, is going to make me feel so much better. And when I'm all finished eating it, it doesn't make me feel better. I feel a little guilty that I ate it because I'm thinking, why did I eat that piece of candy? I could have had an apple, which would have taken me longer. Or I could have had a bowl of berries, which I love, and that would have satisfied my sugar urge. But I listen to the devil on my shoulder too many times. I really do. especially during the holidays when more of these unwelcome guests might move into your brain, thanks to added stress when you say, eat more than you attended at your office party. What does work is accepting them merely as thoughts, not true statements, then taking back some power by inviting in other action-oriented thoughts. If you really think that you need to go get something sweet, tell yourself, you know what, I'm going to have a cookie. But I think what I'm going to do is walk in place for 5 minutes. Or go for a quick little walk around the block. A lot of times you release those endorphins and then you get back and you think, I don't really want the cookie anymore. And if you do want to eat the cookie, then eat the cookie, because then you've burned off a few calories walking around thinking about it. Just because your brain automatically tells you that you want something, you need to stop and think of the consequences of the choices that you're going to make just because your brain told you to do it. This approach is critical on a weight loss journey because what you think often drives what you do. So if thoughts of failure or quitting go unchecked, you could find yourself doing just that. I have had so many struggles. I have been going up and down and up and down, and I've had a better loss than I have at 60 pounds. I was at 95 pounds, and I could beat myself up forever and ever. And I know it sounds like I'm beating myself up, and I'm really not beating myself up. I'm just saying it out loud as a reminder to myself that I did it once before and I will do it once again. And it's just, I can't let the unhelpful thoughts of, well, you gained back 35 pounds, you're a failure, you're not going to succeed. No, I pride myself in the fact that I never give up. I struggle, I trip, I fall, but you know what? In more ways than once, I get up. I have tripped and fallen just in my life. Did I stay laying on the ground? No, I got up. Might have been hard. It might have been a struggle. It's not as easy. I don't pop up as quickly as I did when I was younger, but I'm still able to get up. And so I find myself on my weight loss program the same way. I stumble, I trip, I fall, I land on the ground, but I don't stay there. I don't continue to just sit there and wallow in my pity and still eat. I get up and try again. Does that mean I'm going to trip and fall and slip and do all this again? Probably. It probably does mean that I'm going to trip and fall, but I'm not going to stay laying on the ground. I'm going to get up and try again. So if thoughts of failure or quitting go unchecked, you could find yourself doing just that. But when you separate yourself from what your brain is saying, you have space to consider the facts and alternatives, like the fact that setbacks and fresh starts are normal. I have had more than my share of fresh starts. Let me tell you, I've been on WeightWatchers for all my life, but basically, truly, since 2016, I've been really dedicated to it. Now, some people will say, well, gee, Sandy, you've been on there 6 years and you still haven't reached your ideal weight. No, but I don't consider that a failure. I really don't. I consider it the fact that I'm 6 years in and I'm still going strong. It's just, I could give up at any point, but I'm not going to accomplish anything. I'm really not. So, as all things in life, you struggle and you move on, and you don't give up. You just don't give up. So don't worry if this shift doesn't happen overnight. This type of mindfulness can feel hard or strange at first, and so many of our thoughts are automatic. My thoughts are automatically going to food all the time. What am I going to have for breakfast? What am I going to have for lunch? What should I have for a snack? I have to get out of that mind frame. I just really have to get out of that mind frame and just listen to my body. And when my body says I'm hungry, then think, well, what do I want to eat that's healthy? Not what am I going to eat? I have to get the two thoughts separate. Not what am I going to eat, but what am I going to eat that's healthy, that's going to help me? Those are the thoughts I have to keep in my brain. So be patient and explore this technique at your own pace as you navigate this tricky time of year so you can finish 2022 stronger than ever. That is my plan, to finish strong, and I do intend to finish strong. I really, truly do. But I'm just like everybody else. I have unhelpful thoughts. I let the sugar monster control me more times than I care to admit. And it's a monster that's inside of me that I just can't evict. I've tried evicting this sugar monster, but for some reason he finds a place to hide inside me. And when I think I've completely rid myself of him, he shows up almost unexpectedly, because I can be on a really good roll, really doing really, really well. And then just out of nowhere, the thought comes into my brain, Let's go get some ice cream. Let's go get a banana split. Let's go get a piece of pie. Let's go get a hot fudge cake from Big Boys. I have to control my mindset with that and make sure that I make a smarter choice and finish the year strong. And the only way I'm going to finish the year strong is to take charge of my unhelpful thoughts. We all have unhelpful thoughts. We all do, no matter what it is in part of our life. And it's hard sometimes. It really is hard. It is so much easier just to give in to the unhelpful thought. I'm not going to lie. It would be so much easier. But is it really the best thing for you? And it really, truly is not the best thing for you. So anyway, I'm really happy I had a 0.2 loss. A loss is a loss. I mean, it's not like, woohoo, like my 3-pound loss last week. But you know what? I've lost 5 pounds the previous 2 weeks. So I could have had the mindset, well, you've lost 5 pounds. That means that the next week or so, you're not going to have any kind of a loss and you're probably going to have a gain. That was my mindset in the past. That was an unhelpful thought. But this last week when I lost the 3 pounds, my helpful thought was, you know what, let's have a loss again next week. Now you got a big week planned. You know you're going out to eat on Tuesday. You know you're going to a party on Saturday. Let's make plans accordingly so that we can at least stay the same. And you know what? I did even better than that. I did better than my expectation because my expectation was just to stay the same. So I'd gladly take a 0.2 loss. So how did you guys do? And what are some unhelpful thoughts that you have in your mind? Because I think we all are guilty of having unhelpful thoughts. It's just true. But what unhelpful thoughts do you have and how do you get rid of them? That might help me tremendously. I probably would. But that's going to do it. So if you're going to my channel, please subscribe, leave a comment. Hit the like button, share if you think somebody might like to see it. Stay safe, be healthy, be happy. I hope I see you here again next week. Have a happy, happy Thanksgiving, and maybe I'll see you on my daily vlog. Talk to you soon.